And welcome back. Friday morning, 9 o'clock, sales day. I like that music. I think it's pretty good. It's got a good upbeat, feel good kind of jam to it. But you can't play it all day, so you have to stop. Alright. So it's another bread and butter day, if you want to call it that. So I would say anything that's not necessarily 10 sales, because 10 sales can really vary the dollar amount. I say if it's close to 200 or just over 200, it's bread and butter. If the average price falls within the $20-$25 range, still kind of bread and butter. But just like yesterday, and just like it said all the time, that's stuff that pays the bills. You know, it's the depending if you do shipping or free shipping or which have you, but you know, if you're netting $5 or more an item, and if you send out 10 or 12 of them, that each one you make $5 on, it's not a whole lot, but it's stuff that you had that sold that you made money on. Though it wasn't a lot, it's still money that you now have. Well, that depends on your payout, but when you do it, some people do daily, some people do weekly. I do weekly. Some people do monthly, but either way, it's bread and butter sales day. And today, I'm going to get the sealed DVD or the sealed CDs pictured and posted. There's not even 30, maybe 25. Get those done, and then go run down to a store and come back and just start getting the pictures of the CDs, because tomorrow I'm going to be doing a farther route. It was supposed to be today, but I forgot today is when the sale ends, and that takes an extra little bit of time. And it's going to be dreary today, overcast, maybe a little bit of rain. I mean, the blacktop's still wet. Tomorrow, and for like the next 4 or 5 days, it's supposed to be 50, mid-50s and sunny. So that's a big difference when it's 50 degrees outside and overcast and wet, and 50 degrees outside and slight overcast and sunny. All right, let's find out what's sold. That was a good transition. Or segue. All right, this Unfinished Odyssey, Robert Kennedy. At one time I had like 5 or 6 of these. And got a handful of them actually down at the Discovery store for I think 25 cents each. And this is the last one, $12. Who's gonna drive you home tonight? The Cars, Door to Door. I don't know if that's on here. Step Me In, Coming Up to You. No, it doesn't look like it. I may be wrong, but 14. All right, this Jane Austen, what's it called? North Hanger? North Hanger? North Hanger Blu-ray. That's it. Case in the Blu-ray. 48. Muddy Waters, this one listed yesterday, 19. This Peekaboo, so I got a bunch of these. I think it was also at the Discovery. No, these were at Savers. So I paid $1 each. Got maybe 10 of them. For the most part, they sell for like $9. Not a whole lot. This one, someone came in and asked, because I haven't sold one in a long time. Someone came in and asked, "Hey, can I get that for $7?" I'm like, "Sure." I sent them an offer for $7.07. So that's what I got for this. So this is still $4.47 to ship, $7.07 on the fees. This would be $35.50. 5.6, so still made a buck, and I still have like 4 or 5 left. Big Ale with what's it called? Put It On. $47. I cracked the case right here. This Love Comes Softly, Volume 2. Okay, Volume 2. So this one that I got, this one and the other one and the 10 disc set, and scanning it as the set, they're like $35. Which has Volume 1, which has 5 discs, and Volume 2, which has 5 discs. This is Volume 2, and I got, $35. So I bought the one set, separated the two, and each set of 5 gets the same as what it would for a set of 1. We got something else that came in. Couldn't read that one. I'll check here in a second. Nick Picks, Volume 3, $33. And this is, it does have an insert. So a lot of these Nick Picks, the Nick Jr. picks, a lot of these ones like this can get pretty good money for them. So I look out for a lot for the Nickelodeon, some kid stuff, like the, there's a channel I do watch. It's a newer channel. It's called I Found You to Flip You, or I Found You to Flip, and the guy's story is really interesting on how he came across all this stuff. It's in one of his other videos, maybe a month ago. I don't remember. If he comments on this channel, and if you want to, drop the link to that one, to the story on how you came across all of your stuff. But was commenting about VHS on his channel, or he came over to mine. I don't remember, but I think it was on his channel, commenting about VHS or kid stuff or something, and I mentioned something along the lines like, things like Blue's Clues and Clifford and Barney, especially in VHS, those can still do. Oh yeah, it is, because I sold that Barney VHS, and he made a comment, or I commented something, or whichever, and so a lot of that kid stuff that I mentioned throughout different videos. I don't make the videos I make; they are not specifically attuned to one very specific thing. This is what I got, this is what I sold. The point on how and why I do it like that is, if I'm entertaining enough to you, you're going to continue to watch different videos. It may not be all of them, but you're going to watch different videos that each one will have a little tidbit in them. And I don't make specialized videos with, this is how you do this on. That's not me at all. There's a myriad times, a litany of different content creators out there who make those types of videos. That's not me. If you want to learn about physical media and what I look for and what that does and how that helps me maintain 100,000 a year plus in sales with primarily physical media based on things that I look for, then that's how I make my channels. I don't know how I just went from talking about his channel to now this. Oh, because that's the primary of what my channel is what items I'm looking for throughout the decades of reselling. However, the almost 4 years of media, and going out pretty much every other day and looking for very specific things, and using this thing up here to remember the little bits and pieces, the little idiosyncrasy. Well, that wouldn't be an idiosyncrasy, because that's like a very, very specific quirk about something that moves. Something moving. A human has idiosyncrasies. A car has idiosyncrasies. your furnace or air conditioner has little idiosyncrasies. But on the, those little parts that I picked up on what to look for. Now, there could be a whole bunch of VHS, but throughout my years of learning, I'm primarily looking for Nickelodeon, the Barneys, the Blues. There's a handful of other ones that are going to catch my eye as opposed to the, ooh, there's 20 sealed black diamond VHS. I can go buy them all and I'll make $1 million. I know better than to buy those. Granted, you could buy those, have them sent in, have them graded, and you might get $50 to $100 for it after you paid the $40 to have it graded. You could do that. There are some older VHS that have the black shell and the poofy artwork. They're squishy. Those even like mint. I sold one of those. It was Black Hole, a great sci-fi movie. Black Hole, sealed, poofy, and only got $80. It sold pretty quick. This was years ago, but it got like $80. A 50, 60-year-old VHS sealed from Disney gets that. But the absolutely mass-printed, mass-made, you can get them at every McDonald's. Even today, you can still get them at McDonald's. That's how many there are. Black Diamond, go get them. You can make it. So I've learned what not to look for, what not to pick up. Stuff that has a barcode just makes it so substantially easier to be able to just open up the barcode or open up the scanner. And if you have your app locked to some of your settings locked to like price lowest first and whichever else you want to, you could determine it's like, oh, well, those are listed for 15. Then you hit someone, oh, they sell for 15, 20, $30. So that's how, again, completely veered way off. So I was messaging or commenting in regards to some of the kids stuff that is still good and sells well and retains some value. And I'm hoping that that's where the comments that I was writing on his video in regards to that, I hope it was his video and that's where it all came from. If not, then that's just it doesn't apply to, okay, either way. So, where was that? All right, there was that. I have just throughout the years, and like I said, I believe it was yesterday's video, that I have picked up on a lot of these little things that help when I'm out and about, because I'm not scanning every item. I'm doing, do I know these kind of things? So if I see another Love Comes Softly, which I know, if I see another one, I know to pull that and look in that. If I see another Nick Jr., I know that. The Nick picks. But if I see a peekaboo, no, I'm not getting it. If I see rap and hip hop, yeah, I'll scan that. So there's certain very specific things that just scan. And after so many times going out and looking at stuff, you're going to use less time getting the stuff that you know off the bat. You should still probably look it up and scan. And I could spend more time really eyeballing and reading the DVD titles. Now, CDs are separate because I just pull a whole hand and I just sort them hand sort. If there's no gatefolds in there, right? Oh, Ariana Grande, that's like $100. So I just, now usually it's not like this. Usually it's like this, right? And I'm going to find stuff that looks different. Pull the stuff out that's sealed. I mean, really? Yeah, why not? Gloria Estefan, signed. That's just an interesting artwork cover. Michael Stanley, which would be a gimme. A lot of the 60s, 70s, and the 80s rock stuff. Crazy Horse, promo. Right, so I just kind of learn for the train people. You kind of start to learn on the strange, the different, the unusual. Now, granted, in every once in a while, I'll run into another primarily bookseller, primarily Scamazon bookseller, and they're like, "Man, if you do it like that, you're leaving so much money on the table." And I've said this before, that may be true, but I'm not going to stick around for the pocket change stuff. That's 8, 10, 15 bucks that I'm spending an additional hour on looking for, and I find two things that are going to be 10, 15 bucks, and I've already described plenty of times on why I don't deal a lot with that stuff on that price range. I do get that stuff. I have my own metrics on why I do. Granted, yeah, I am leaving the money on the table, but I'm also not spending 3 hours in a store. I can't remember the last time I spent 3 hours in a store. I don't think I even spent 3 hours at the business estate sale the second day when I went in and got the books, because we got there. I was a little bit before 11 and left a little bit after 2, and they closed. So that was, we'll just say 3 hours. But I was waiting in line for 15 minutes. So that was 3 hours. And even at that, what did I get? Like 70 books? And I'm still hand typing a good majority. Now, the smaller books, like some of the smaller paperbacks and things like this, when going to pay, and they're priced at $1, then they're going to be discounted even more. By my knowledge, if I just see something like that has some at least interest to me, has enough for me to grab it and just put it in the bag. Now, the bigger books, yeah, I would look some of that stuff up, because I don't want to end up with a bigger book like this and pay $2 for it and come back home and find out it's only $10. It's going to cost all that in just the shipping, right? So those I will look at. I don't know really where the little tangents are going, but trying to make it past 10 minutes, and yeah, barely. Yeah, that's 18 or 10. No, 18. I'm well past that. So that's going to wrap that one up. If you like what you heard, like what you saw, like what you learned, split up every once in a while. You could split up sets, and it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense if you're paying $4.50 shipping to ship out each one. But in the case of this, scan one or scan the entire set. It's like $35-$40. Scan them individually, each set, and they're the same price. So is basically $70 the same as $40? Nope. So you're paying for one more additional shipping. So is $65 the same as maybe $40? Nope. So every once in a while, got to do that. Matter of fact, I got there's a CD set that I got from that estate sale. That the set itself is like $12. Each CD is 15 to 20. So that one definitely works out in the favor for that. And I prefer, in a lot of instances, to one-off, to sell individual. So if something has a set of 10, and if I have 8, depending, fairly rarely that I will go out and go find those other 2 to make the complete set, because complete sets can get a whole lot more than just buying them individually, just because it's already said and done. However, if the set that I have, this make-believe set that I have, is missing 2 discs out of it, or books or whatever, 2 out of the 10, I could spend the money to make it complete. Or if mine was missing a couple, I'll bet you other people's are missing some. So why not list the individual ones? And sometimes it'll be book 1 and 2, book 3 and 4, book 4. Very rarely, that really depends. But usually it's going to be one-off. I'm going to sell the replacement stuff. And that tends to work out. In some cases, sets that are missing something will still sell. I sold that Bears The NFL Bears DVD set. It was missing two. I still got like $140 for it. That DVD set, if I remember right, was like $300 new. So, all right. Let me think of going up. Comment down below. Subscribe, share. Those are all free. Take a second. They help me, help you, so we can help other people learn about buying physical media. Sell on eBay. Appreciate it.